What is going on, guys? DBG here, and this is episode 4 of NBA 2K17 Downgrades, where I predict which players' overalls will go down from NBA 2K16 to NBA 2K17. I've done 3 more of these episodes, so if a player you think should be downgraded isn't on this list, there's a good chance they are in one of the other 3 episodes. There will be a playlist in the description. So first off, we have got Noah Vonleh. He started off as a 72 overall silver last year and had an extremely not great year for the Portland Trail Blazers. In fairness, he did start 56 games, which would seem like, oh yeah, should be good. The Portland Trail Blazers were a good team. He played 15.1 minutes per game, averaged less than 4 points and less than 4 rebounds per game. Well, he did actually get minutes for a good team, and this might be grounds for him to stay the same. In my opinion, I think he probably should stay as a silver, because he is getting minutes for a good team, but 2K for some reason downgrade players that are getting minutes over players who haven't seen the floor. So I think, even though I don't think he should be in my opinion, but I think 2K are going to rate him a 67 overall bronze and a downgrade of 5 from last year, just because he did not have a great year statistics wise. Next we have got Eric Gordon, who, if you look at his stats, was actually better this season than he was the year before. He had 15.2 points per game instead of 13.2. But the thing is, Eric Gordon was a 79 overall last year. A lot of it was based on his 3-point rating. In 2014-2015, Eric Gordon had the second highest 3-point percentage in the league at 44.8. Last season, his 3-point percentage went all the way down to 38.2. For that reason, I think he's going to be downgraded to a 78 overall. I think he's going to be, his overall stats are probably going to be a little bit higher, but the massive drop in 3-point rating, especially for a 2-guard, means that his overall rating is going to go down a little bit, so I think a 78 overall is what Eric Gordon's going to be. Next we have got Korver, an all-star in 2015, and in my opinion he was robbed of being a gold in NBA 2K16. Korver averaged 12.1 points per game in 2015 and shot nearly 50% from 3, but last year he only averaged 9.2 points per game and shot less than 40%, an entire 10% drop from 3 on less attempts. The Atlanta Hawks were not as good, and Korver did not have as good a year. For that reason, I think he's going to be downgraded to a 76 overall, which is still not too bad. I think Korver could possibly pick it up, but who knows? That season, where the Hawks had the second best record in the league, he shot 50% from 3 and was an all-star. That was insane, but maybe he may never live up to that. But I think anyway, he's going to be downgraded from a 79 overall to a 76. Next up, we've got Al Horford, who he wasn't actually particularly bad. He had a solid year with the Atlanta Hawks, averaged 17.1 points per game, 8 rebounds per game and 3 assists per game. He had a good year, but the thing is, he was a little bit worse than the year before, and the Hawks were a little bit worse as well. For that reason, I can see him being downgraded to an 81 overall, but he is playing with the Celtics, a team that suits his style of play. I can see him being a great dynamic rating card to pick up, and I think he could probably end the year at maybe an 85, 86 overall. Last up, we have got one of my favourite players in the league, and it is Goran Dragic. Dragic broke out in 2013-2014 for the Phoenix Suns, averaging over 20 points per game. He should have been an all-star and was robbed. In 2014-2015, he played for Phoenix Suns with their 3-point guard lineup of Isaiah Thomas, Eric Bledsoe and Dragic. They actually traded Thomas and Dragic away and they got Brandon Knight to play a 2-point guard lineup. He was then traded to the Miami Heat on the trade deadline, where he averaged 16.6 points per game and 5.3 assists per game, which isn't too bad. Last season for the Miami Heat, he averaged only 14.1 points per game, which was his lowest since his season in Houston in 2011-2012. He only averaged 5.8 assists per game, which is not great considering he was supposed to run the show for the Miami Heat. He stepped up big time in the playoffs. He had a few great games, and Goran Dragic is still a great player, but I just think he was so inconsistent last year, and overall he did not have his best year, so I think he's going to be downgraded to a 79 overall. So anyway, that's the video. These are just 5 more players I think are going to be downgraded. I've done 5 of these episodes and then 5 upgrades. And 7 upgrades. I'm going to leave a link to the playlist down in the description. If you think any other player should be downgraded, just check them videos out, because there's a good chance I have covered them. So anyway, thanks for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe.